So you want to play Alter. Well, there is a lot you should know about her kit and how to get the most out of each of her abilities so you can climb the ranks and dominate your competition. This video, I'll give you examples of exactly how to use her abilities and best upgrades and some cool ability tech and even a movement technique for Alter. If you got any questions or you just want to stay up to date with me, follow me over on Twitter or join the Discord channel linked in the description below. So starting off with her passive, which is Gift from the Rift, which allows her to loot death boxes without needing to get up close to them. She can loot one item per death box, except she can't take shield cores with her passive. It's also worth noting that ammo does count as one of your items, unlike Loba's ultimate, so make sure you take a sec and make sure you actually know exactly what you want before using up that one item. When using her passive, I recommend going for ammo or shields if you don't have enough. Then if you're good with that, I would suggest trying to go for an extended mag, as it can greatly change the outcome of a close range fight. And with Alter, if you're playing her correctly, you're probably going to have a lot of close range fights. The passive will also be available as long as the death box is still there, so don't feel the need to instantly pick up your one item if you're already looted up. I just say this because sometimes I'll autopilot and pick up an item that I don't really need and it doesn't really help me at all, and then a few minutes later, I might need some ammo or shields, in which case it would be game changing if I could still pick up another item. If you want to be winning more games, you also need to be a less selfish player with your passive. You might have everything that you need, but your teammates might not, and getting that extra shield battery or stack of ammo for them could be the difference between you winning or losing the match. You could also just use your passive to take a look at what's in the death box, so you can decide whether or not it's worth to run over and loot, which could be very helpful, especially if the death box is out in the open and it could be kind of risky to go loot it. Then her tactical is Void Passage, which creates a portal passageway through a surface, and this, in my opinion, is the best part of Alter. The most obvious use for it is to help you escape from an enemy that's phasing through a wall, but there are so many other tricks you can utilize to get value out of her tactical. Starting with how to use it, if you hold down your tactical input, if you can place it, it will show up in blue, and then if you can't, it will show up in red. You'll also see a preview of where the exit will be placed, and you can still see that exit after you place down the portal, and make sure you double check where it is so you don't put yourself directly in front of an enemy. You can look straight up and it will place the portal with a tail, which will allow you to travel up it, and you can also get very high up with her portal. And if you're wondering whether or not the portal will have like that sort of tail thing on it, all you need to do is look at the indicator below the depth. If it glows purple, it will have one, and obviously if it's grayed out, it won't. Then if you find yourself holding out the tactical and you want to put it away without actually using the tactical, all you have to do is press the button or the key that you use to switch weapons. So when you're actually using her portal, if you're getting chased, you might just run away and try to use the portal, but the enemy will usually follow you through, which is why a lot of the time I like to throw down a thermite or an arc star at my feet after going through the portal. So the first cool and helpful trick I want to show you with Alter's tactical lets you negate the damage from an arc star. What you want to do is, after you get stuck with an arc star, wait until just before it blows up and then take your void passage. Now it's important that you get the timing down, otherwise you will simply take the arc star to the other side and you'll still take the damage. Just use the sound of the arc star, and right before you think it's about to blow up, enter the portal, and then you should be good without taking any damage. Then a more common use of her portal is to get up right behind your enemy in a fight, and this can get you some easy kills. Now it is very important that you look at where the exit is before you go through it, just to make sure you aren't putting yourself in front of your enemy. But I find if you are able to get behind them and you have some sort of close range weapon like an SMG or a shotgun, you will usually win the fight, especially if they're on controller, as it's going to take them a second to turn around. You can also portal from above your enemy to get the jump on them, but I would only really recommend this if you have a shotgun, the enemy is already low, you have your team with you, or you are just confident that you're going to win the 1v1. And you can also do the same thing but go from below to get up to the enemy. But I will say, I find it usually works better if you're going down. If you are going to be using our portal to get the jump on the enemies, make sure you really know where they are, or you're going to end up like me here, where I pop out and immediately get shot by 3 players all at once. You can also force an enemy through a wall, which is really good at catching them off guard. You can't do it on doors, unfortunately, but if they are playing on a door, most of the time if you put the portal directly beside the door, you will still get them. Now sometimes you're going to find yourself in a bad situation where you feel like you're about to die, and then what I recommend you do is go in and out of your portal repeatedly. This will give you invincibility and will often cause the enemy to blow all their ammo, leading to an easy elimination. Like in this example, I feel like almost any other legend I would have lost here, but I was able to buy some time and confuse the Wraith enough to win the fight. Also, if your teammates are with you, just simply doing this will buy some time and they can shoot the enemy for you. I also love to use the portal to cause enemies to panic and close range fight. In this clip, it's not looking good. There's a new castle with a charged up peacekeeper walking towards me. I thought I was done for, but using my portal, I am able to kidnap the new castle, which gave me high ground and confused him enough where I was able to get a quick and easy 100 damage before he was able to take a shot. Then I could finish him off easily with the bow for the win. Now, to use your portal to help out your teammates, you will often find your teammates get knocked and then can't get to you because there's a ledge in the way. And because they're knocked, they just can't get over that ledge. For other legends, you would be out of luck, but with Alter, all you need to do is place the portal in the ledge and your knocked teammate can phase through. Then you can safely revive them. A nice legend combo you can use is Wraith's portal and Alter's portal. If you are ever stuck in a building and need to rotate, you can place down Alter's void passage and then Wraith can bring her portal through the wall and place it on the other side. Just a quick and easy way to make a rotation if there's enemies nearby. In a potentially even better case scenario, you can go up or down a floor using their portals together, and I think this could have some very strong outplay potential. Now, looking at her ultimate, Void Nexus, which allows you and your team to teleport to the location that you place it. If you look at the minimap, you will see a purple ring. That's the range of the Nexus, so try to play within that range until it's over. And you can also see how long you have until the Nexus is destroyed with a little countdown on your screen. And it does last 2 full minutes, which is quite a long time, and by the time it runs out, you will be the majority of the way to your next ultimate. How I recommend using your ultimate is similar to Revenant's Totem. Place it somewhere safe before pushing an enemy, and then if things start to go south, use it to get back to safety. I also love to place it onto high ground before I jump off, so there's always an easy way for me to get back up. You do have to be very careful when using her Nexus though, as a lot of the time enemies will camp beside the Nexus and wait for you to get back. Now this next thing is kind of honestly overpowered with the Nexus. You can take it while you or your teammates are not. That's why I always recommend placing it before you take a team fight, so if you need to, you can get out and your teammates can revive you. It's also really good if your teammates get knocked in some location that you can't easily get to. Just place the Nexus and have them teleport to you and get the revive. Then looking at her upgrades, you really can't go wrong with any choice here, but there are some that I would suggest. For her first upgrade, I would go with the ultimate cooldown, which takes a full 30 seconds off the cooldown, which is a big help. Void Vision isn't bad, but I find the information you get from it doesn't really change the outcome of a fight. What it does is it shows you the health bars of your enemies when you take the portal. Don't get me wrong, that is nice, but to get that you need to go through the portal. So once you go through the portal, you're pretty much already committing to the fight, so knowing their armor level doesn't help that much. So yeah, it is okay, but I definitely think having her ultimate 30 seconds faster is just better. Then for the next upgrade, I always go with her tactical cooldown. Her tac is incredibly strong, and taking a full 10 seconds off the cooldown allows you to get even more use out of it. Eternal Nexus is also good, but since I already chose the ultimate cooldown upgrade, I already have my ultimate available most of the time. Also by default, the Nexus is 120 seconds, which is usually more than enough time. And making it infinite is just a bit overkill. Now as far as playing her goes, she is a skirmisher legend, and for good reason. I find the best way to play her is to be hyper aggressive, as you can easily catch enemies off guard using her tactical. Then if you ever find things starting to go poorly, you could just use her ultimate to get out safely. She has a pretty thin hitbox, which makes that aggressive playstyle suit her even better. As far as weapons go, any close range weapon is probably the best for you to use as Alter, as you're often going to be putting yourself directly beside your enemy with your portal, and being able to get a high amount of damage off in a short period of time is what's going to be winning you your 1v1. Right, for the movement tech, it's sort of like a super jump, except it's using her void passage. This is super good. It just confuses the enemies and makes them lose sight of you as you get launched up into the sky. Right, to do this, it's actually very easy. All you have to do is make a portal with a tail. As you see under the depth, I get that tail indicator. You want to place that down. And then you want to make sure you're crouched, interact with the phase, and then you want to jump right as you go out. And you get launched up in the sky. Now, I do find it's a lot easier if you use scroll wheel. So if you just scroll wheel, you go up a lot. It's a lot more consistent, but you can't just do one single jump input and it'll still work. Then if you're on controller, you don't have a scroll wheel, so I would just recommend literally just spam your jump button. Spam your jump button, and most of the time it'll work like that. Just spamming my jump button. You get launched up in the sky. If you don't move at all, you just go right back down into the portal. Pretty cool. And then you could also do it while you're sliding. So that's another option. And yeah, that's all I have for Alter in this video. If you found it helpful, drop a like and comment what you think the best team combo is with Alter. Check out this video up on the screen now if you want some aiming tips and tricks to improve your gameplay. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.